Hello, everyone. We are just doing this live session to answer some of your questions. So we will mainly be talking about the employer-sponsored visas and the skilled migration visas. So I'll just wait for a few people to join in. And if you can see me and hear me okay, can you please type in the comment section? So I'm live on Facebook and YouTube both. So if you can please put it in the comments if you can see me and hear me. Okay, that is excellent. Thank you, Gurpal, Vin, Amit. Okay, so we will start with some options for applicants because I know that some of you have been waiting for the invitation and it's nearly end of the financial year and many of you may have your visas expiring soon as well. So I think it's time that you may want to look at other options as well. So if skilled migration is not happening, so to buy some time, you know that 408 visa is available. So maybe utilize that visa. Anybody who's got work rights and has a job offer or working in any sector, you can apply for the 408 COVID pandemic visa. It's just that if you fall under that under those critical sectors, then you get the visa for 12 months. Otherwise, you get it for 6 months, which is with full-time work rights. And 408 visas are coming through, no issues at all, because many of you have asked us if 408 is still there or anything's happened. So 408 is still there, and if anything, it's actually gotten better. So if you want to buy some time and you want to wait for your invite in the new financial year, you could probably do that. Now with the skilled migration, of course, July, I'm really hoping that July will look very positive with, with the number of seats that we've got available. We've almost got double seats compared to what we had this financial year. So technically, if you look at it, all states should get more seats, especially smaller states like Tasmania, Northern Territory should get double this number of seats. Queensland should get double the number of seats. New South Wales, South Australia already have very good number of seats. Maybe Victoria will get some good number for the 491 visa. And New South Wales may also get some extra seats as well. Looks like their 491 has been very competitive. So they may have some more seats for the 491 as well. If you are someone who moved to regional New South Wales in the hope of getting 491, so just don't get disheartened. I would probably hang around here until July, until we know about the new migration policies. And then hopefully there will be something for everyone. So probably consider staying in New South Wales. Also, if anybody is looking at moving states, hold on just a little bit. You may want to wait until July to see how the new rules will be. As you know, that Tasmania will also be making some changes, and who knows, Queensland gets better. Like if you're planning to get out of Queensland, who knows, Queensland has more seats, and maybe you have an option to stay in Queensland. So probably wait until July if your visa allows you. But if you definitely need something quick enough, then you may want to take a bit of risk and move states. So that's for the skilled migration. Now, if you have a sponsor, your employer, who's ready to sponsor you, it's actually not a bad option either if skilled migration hasn't come through yet. Or if you're somebody who needs more time to get skills assessment, then you could consider 482 visa. Now, there are three main types of employer sponsored visas. The first one is 482, which is the most easiest and requires less experience. Then is the 494. Then we've got the 186, which is the permanent employer sponsored visa. Now with the 482, let's look at the positives for 482. So with that one, you need 2 years full-time work experience. In most cases, you don't need a skills assessment. And the English requirement is also low. So if your occupation is on the MLTSSL, you can apply that visa for anything from 1 to 4 years. And the English requirement is only 5 each in IELTS or equivalent test. And if your occupation is on the STSOL, then the English requirement is overall 5, minimum 4.5. And you can get that visa for 1 to 2 years. Like I said, in most cases, skills assessment is not required unless you're one of those trade occupations and you haven't studied here. Then you need the skills assessment. But as long as you've got 2 years work experience anywhere in the world, so it could be overseas as well, you could go for the 482 visa as long as you've got an employer to sponsor you, and the employer could be based anywhere in Australia. So it's not restricted to any state, or it doesn't have to be a regional area. It could be anywhere in Australia. So those are some good things with 482. Next one is the 494, which is the regional employer sponsored visa. Now, I want uh, you to really look at that visa. It's actually a very good visa, especially if you don't have an occupation which is on the main list, on the MLTSSL, STSOL list, then you can look at 494, because what I've noticed is that many of our clients could get a skills assessment in an occupation which is on the 494 list, because we've got 600 occupations. We've got way more occupations, and some of those occupations are at a lower level as well, especially with hospitality. If you're not a chef or a restaurant manager, you cannot go for 482 or 186, but you could pick one occupation maybe from the 494 list. And similarly, we've got a lot of other occupations as well, which are not on the main list. So if you've got 3 years full-time work experience or pro rata, which means 6 years part-time or 3 years full-time work experience, and if you can get six each, and if you can get skills assessment, you may want to look at 494 visa, and you need an employer in the regional area. So the only places you can't really have an employer is Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. Apart from that, your employer could be anywhere in Australia, and you need to, as the applicant, you need to have the skills assessment, six each, 3 years full-time work experience. So and then you've got this 600 occupations to choose from. So probably consider 494 if you have been struggling to get a skills assessment from the main list and you have 2.5 to 3 years work experience. So I'm saying 2.5 because sometimes the preparation and everything can take some time. So by the time you're ready, maybe you will have 3 years work experience. So that's the 494. The third employer sponsored visa is the 186 permanent employer sponsored visa. You do need 3 years full time work experience in this one in your nominated occupation. You do need skills assessment, and you do need six each. However, your employer can be based anywhere in Australia, and your occupation has to be on the 186 occupation list. So all the experience has to be post qualification, and if your occupation requires any registration or licenses, you have to make sure that you have that as well. So, but with usually with 482, you can get away. For example, if you don't have a full registration, you have conditional registration in some of the health occupations. You only get a conditional registration first. You can't go for a 186. Then you may want to consider a 482 in that case. So if you're someone who is considering employer-sponsored visas, you may want to get in touch with us. We do have a separate category on our website. So there's a separate service for employer-sponsored visas. So we do have specialized migration agents who can help you with that. So I would encourage you to book with with our team for the employer-sponsored visas. For the skilled migration, states are still sending invites, but they are nearly at the end of the quota. So I won't be surprised that if some states, let's say by the end of May, they start announcing that our quota is full and no more invitations will be happening. So Queensland is still sending invites, but the invites we can see have slowed down. They did send a lot of invites, and I think they're still trying to process those ones at the moment. Let's just have a look at your questions. Kazim is asking, when do they plan to clear 189 backlog? I'm waiting offshore For my grants since 3 years, and even now, when everything is open, they are not in a hurry to clear the backlog. Yes, Kazim, I know it's very frustrating, but can I say that last week one of our clients got the 189 granted, so looks like they have started picking up those applications. So I'm really hoping that yours is not too far away. Arvinder is asking, what are the chances for painter? 65 points, 491, EOI lodged October. Mm, it's you have good chances. We don't have a lot of painters in Queensland. Um, I think you should get the invite, but I'm not sure if you've got seven each because, yeah, even though we did get invites at six each as well for trade occupations, but you never know. So if you don't have seven each, maybe try for that. Raza is asking, hope you're doing well. Yes, I am. Thank you for asking. I just bought SBO in Bundaberg and how long it's take to SBO state information, state invitation. So if you've just bought a business in Bundaberg, first of all, get in touch with us. Just make sure that you've done everything right, your purchase contract, and you meet all the eligibility because recently they have updated the checklist as well. So I just want to make sure that you got everything from the seller and you have to run the business for 6 months. Right now, it's slow. So, from the time you lodge the EOI and by the time you get the full invitation, it could be anything from 1 to 3 months. But if you've just bought the business, you have to wait 6 months, which is almost at the end of the year. And I'm hoping it won't be that busy and your EOI will get picked up soon. Any chance for 189 for accountant, 85 points next year? Accountants looks like will always be competitive, but yeah, no harm in having your 189 lodged in there. So, but we'll find out after July. But the numbers are looking good for 189, but they may still have a quota for accountants. So obviously, they can't invite everybody, and a lot of people are sitting at 85 points. So I would say maybe try to increase points. Manufacturer when open. Uh, I'm not sure if it is already open. Did you check South Australia if they have it? Otherwise, if they don't have it, then probably wait until the next financial year. No, they actually have it open. So you need 8 years work experience, minimum 65 points. They are open for 491. So you can try there. Already for nomination can take 3 to 6 months. So yours is a critical sector as well. This is their priority at the moment. It could be less as well. Pradeep is asking 1.5 years of prior and 2 years of post experience after certificate for commercial cookery. I did my master's in accounting in Australia, did my bachelor's 3 years course, hotel management in Nepal. Okay, so looks like you do have few options. I'm not sure if you already got your skills assessment, so you could have done the job ready program, got the skills assessment. You also have bachelor's in hotel management. You could also look at 482 visa. So probably book a consultation and we can look at some options for you, but you should have more than one option. Simran is asking, I have question regarding Tasmania 190. My question is I have selected both 190 and 491 in EOI. If I'm applying for 190 nomination, I think you can only choose one with the nomination application, but right now it's invitation only. So depends. If you're eligible for 190, then you should take just 190. So recently with one of our clients, she was like, "Oh, I'll just take anything, just get me 491." But we were like, "No, we you are eligible for 190, so we'll get you 190." And we put the application through for 190 only, and we got it because the applicant was eligible. Okay, GB is asking, hi ma'am, as a migration agent, what is your opinion regarding the pending 190 offshore applications, when they will touch our files? Will they ever grant us, because we are tired and stressed? Yes, GB, I totally get it. The processing time has been really, really wrong. Um, the major issue that I have got is the points that you lose. If you get married. So situation change, circumstances change. So if you had claimed points because you were single, you got 10 points. And at the time of the decision, if they're giving you decision after 3 years, 4 years, and of course, circumstances change, maybe you got married, your visa gets refused, and it's very frustrating. I'm really hoping things will start to change in July. And also, I'm really hoping that they will look at this uh, points thing, especially for the relationship, because it is just so unfair. It would have made sense if you lodge the visa as a single and they guarantee you that you'll get the visa will be processed in an year's time. But when the visa is taking like 2 years, 3 years, it's just not fair. So I really hope that you get your visa soon. Okay, Gurpal is asking how many months early I can start process for 186 direct entry as accountant, got experience of 2 years, 7 months. So you almost have 3 years, 5 months are left. I would, okay, so you had 95 points. Okay, yes, I know your case, Gurpal. Um, you can start the process, at least the nomination your employer can start. So maybe get in touch with us. We can help you with that. Or you may want to wait until July and see what happens. So that's up to you. Hi, Suman. Thank you for taking time to answer our queries. My question is that can we claim full experience points if we have all the proofs of the roles and responsibilities and not as per ACS? So as long as all the employment is post qualification and you have all the evidence, employment contract, pay slips, and you have a letter from your employer, your tasks are matching as per the ANSCO code, you don't have to get it from ACS, your employment assessment, but I personally like to do it. So I do it for all my clients. Okay, Hishan, my wife refused her visa. I am on 500 visa and she's still in her country. Should I apply her visa when I apply 485 visa? Yes. So if your student visa is about to finish anyway, like you've got, let's say you've got about 6, 7 months left, I would just wait and lodge 485. So at the moment, 485, you can do a combined application, even though your dependent is offshore. So if that option is still available, you can do a combined application. So maybe get in touch with us so we can help you with that. Okay, I have got positive software engineer ACS done. However, my exact role is under testing and matches few of the roles with software engineer. Will there be any issues with 186 direct entry? So with 186, your experience has to be in the nominated occupation. So I'm not sure if you got your employment assessed. Maybe get your employment assessed as software engineer. That will be the safest way to do it if you are not sure. Jyoti Ram is asking 190 visa, New South Wales, 65 points, fitter trade occupation. Well, with that occupation, anything can happen. I think this occupation is also open. Um, Try to increase your points if you can, but if not this financial year, let's see what happens next financial year, because it's very rare occupation. So we saw in whites at six. Some of the rare occupations we have seen in whites at 65 for 190. So I hope you get it. Jazz is asking, hi Suman, why is department taking so long to lodge to grant 491 visa? Isn't skilled visa supposed to be fast track? Yes, Jazz, you're right. When they first introduced the 491 visa, they said that this visa will get priority and we will process this visa in 3 months. However, after that, COVID happened and everything just changed. So this is not their priority anymore. So right now, their priority is only processing the visas, which like employer-sponsored visas on PMSOL, or the skilled migration, which is on the critical sector and PMSOL first, and then looking at the other visas. So for 491 with critical sector, we have been getting grants in 3 months as well. But I've also noticed that 491 processing is a little bit faster now if I compare it to last year. So I hope they actually whatever they promised before, they actually do it and they start processing it a bit faster. Okay, Krishma is asking, what are the chances for PR with 75 points as welfare worker? Depends what state you're in, but the points are pretty good for this occupation, so you should get something. Gagan, waiting for system analyst, web developer, 75 points, haven't got any response yet, 485 finishing soon. Um, Yeah, so see what happens after July if your 485 is finishing. I would say maybe launch the 408 3 months before your 485 finishes. Maybe get in touch with us. We can help you with the 408 visa as well. And you can get that one for 6 months. So that gives you more time to try in the next financial year. Okay, this is a good question. Amir Sonar is asking, can I change my business after receiving SBO 491 Queensland nomination? I do not recommend because you got your nomination because you proved to them, you gave all the evidence that you're running a business in Queensland, creating jobs for Australian citizens and employers. And once you get the nomination, if you sell the business or make any changes, it may affect. Um, but if you have a valid reason why you're selling this one and getting a new one, as long as your intention is still to run the business, that I think still should be okay. But if you're just planning not to run the business, that is not the right thing to do because they can always come back and monitor you. And they did say to us that they will have a monitoring process because they want to make sure that if they have started this stream, it is not getting misused. So they want people to keep running the business even after the visa is received or even after the invitation is received. Okay, Prakar is asking, can I change job while waiting for 190 grant? Do I need to notify? Yes. So I would depends how why you got the 190. So some states they want you to have a job, some want you to have studied there, whatever. So depends why you got the 190. So I would try to meet the same requirements until at least until the visa grant. If you're trying to change job, yeah, try to stick to your own nominated occupation. Sorry, I'm just trying to take some few more questions because I just don't want to take repetitive questions. Okay, Ankur is asking, is there any chance that Queensland will change the criteria for trade category like 7 HPT as Ankur, even this financial year, we did see a lot of invites at 6 each. So even though they have put on their website that they want 7 each, but they are a bit flexible with trade occupations, especially if your occupation is not too competitive. So, but if you can increase your points, that's even better. Okay, Rosanna, what are the chances for 491 psychologist onshore in Queensland, currently working with 85 points? So, Rosanna, I'm not sure if you've launched your EOI, but you should, because I would only go for 190. I would not try for 491. Your points are good, your occupation is pretty good. Okay, welfare worker, 75 points. Mm, I know that one of our client, social worker, got only 491 with 75 points. So it's just that Queensland is very, very competitive. You know, they've got very limited seats left now for 190. So it depends how much time you've got or if you can increase your points. But you can try. You can try for 190. But yeah, based on our recent invites, there is a possibility that only 491 may be on offer. Okay, Shackle, bridging visa A for more than 6 months. Finished your studies last December. So if you finished your studies last December, okay, so your visa expired before December, so let's say October, and have your health assessment. Yeah, they can grant the visa. We have seen the student visas coming through even though COE has finished because they know that there was an issue, but you won't be eligible to apply for the 485, unfortunately. So you may have to take another study to then become eligible for 485 in the future. Yeah, just I know it's just not the right thing, but you could have. Okay, because of the health assessment you could not. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to do anything about this, but Shekel, there are actually a lot of students in your situation, unfortunately. Okay, Pramod, can we apply 186 direct entry with certificate 4 only without diploma with full skills assessment from TRA? No, you need diploma. So for 186, you need to look at put your occupation code and ABS, check on the ENSCO website. So we do need a diploma for that one. You cannot go for 186 without that. Okay, just take one or two more. Assad is asking chances for PR, audiologist, 75 to 80 points under any. Yeah, I would try for 190. Again, very rare occupation. So whenever the occupation is rare and it's kind of related to health sector, I think you should always try for 190 first. Okay. Gursevak is asking, do we need qualification for 482 or experience? So you need a relevant qualification plus 2 years work experience in the last 2 years full-time work experience in the last 5 years. So you need both. You're welcome, Ankur. Okay. Is secondary school teaching a good path to pursue towards obtaining permanent residency? Yes. Teaching, Australia needs a lot of teachers. So as long as you can get a high English score, IELTS academic only, yeah, so you don't even have to think twice if you want to study teaching. It's pretty good. Okay. Kinjal Kumar, experience will be reduced for industrial pharmacist in SA in July. You've got 4 years of work experience. Okay. It can be reduced, but even if you have 4 years work experience, as long as you meet the points requirement, skills assessment, English, and all that, I would still lodge the application. You never know. If they don't get too many candidates with 8 years experience, who knows, they pick you, because they always have a quota for each occupation. So if they can't fill it, they'll take people who have less experience. So apply. Okay. I just don't want to take questions from the same people. I'm just trying to answer questions from everyone. Karan is on 80 points, Queensland, software engineer, work experience more than 2 years. Okay, already on 482. Okay. Um, Increase your points, Karan. Can't remember. I think software engineers we got invited at 90 or 95. So see if you can increase your points. Social work good pathway? Yes, it is. It is a good pathway. So if you can get admission, and if you meet the English requirement, because usually again they want IELTS academic 7 each, then you should go for it. Okay, so guys, I will have to end this session. Okay, I'll just take the last one. Hassan is asking, can we expect some invitations for 491? I really doubt. I don't think so. It's all done and dusted, so we'll have to wait until July. Okay, guys, thank you for joining the session. So I just want to say that we do have a lot of different service categories that we offer. So we do have some consultations which are free as well. And we do have some consultations which are only $55 if you want to take a quick advice. So I would say go on our website, and also if you're looking for employer-sponsored visas, you may want to talk to our experts. For the employer-sponsored visas as well, we'll be able to assess your profile, we'll be able to have a chat to your employer as well, and then put you on the right path from there. So I hope you all have a good weekend. It's a long weekend in Queensland. And I was actually in Sydney yesterday and today, so I met a lot of people here, clients from Sydney. Now that there are no border restrictions, I plan to be in Sydney every 3 weeks. So if you were not able to get an appointment today or yesterday, we will update the website when I'm coming next, and then you may want to book the consultation. I think I'll be back in 3 weeks' time in Sydney, so you may want to book it at that time. All right, have a good night. Bye bye.